Okay, so first of all, I want to give you our welcome to this web meeting. As you know, this is what has been called within the project the Transnational Training. This meeting was scheduled within the second project meeting we had in Crete, but as you know, it was not possible to organize the training in time since we were a little late with the development of the joint monitoring protocol. Indeed, the transnational training goal is to share the joint monitoring protocol, review the joint monitoring protocol in order to validate this deliverable, and start with the application of the protocol in your protected areas. As our protected area managers will explain later, the protocol is shaped on the target species identified for each of the protected areas involved in the project, starting from the inventory we carried out in the first activity in our project, the inventory about biodiversity, ecosystems, and ecosystem services. Protocol wants to collect data on such target species in order to evaluate what is the status of the ecosystems in your protected areas, and of course also the impact of the ecosystem management measures we are going to implement during the project. At the same time, we have foreseen a simplified monitoring protocol in order to involve not only the technical experts who are working in your protected areas and within IMPRECO project, but to involve also volunteers so that they can enrich the data set on target species collected thanks to IMPRECO. So the second goal of this meeting is also to draft out the so-called simplified monitoring protocols. It is, of course, a simplified version of the joint monitoring protocol for the volunteers. And we are asking you to organize a national training next year. We'll schedule it during this meeting. These national trainings are aimed at involving volunteers and explaining them how they can use the simplified protocols for collecting data and feeding the database we will develop within IMPRECO for collecting all these different information, analyze them at transnational level, and of course share not only between our protected areas, but also with other protected area stakeholders we will involve during the project implementation. So before giving the floor to the protected areas manager who worked joint monitoring protocol, it's important to explain you that I'm registering this transnational training, this meeting, so that we can use such registration for reporting the activity, but also to go in order to go back to the contents we're sharing now. At this end, I'm asking you now one by one to introduce yourself and give us also the consent to register this conversation and of course also your interventions. So first of all, I want to ask to the staff from the lead partner, the municipality of Staranzano, to introduce themselves and register their participation to this transnational training.
Hello, I'm Matteo De Luca, Protected Area Manager of Zonzo River Mouth Nature Reserve. and municipality of Staranzano. And I'm agree to register this conversation and this meeting. It's okay?
Okay, thank you, Matteo. And I ask to the staff from Veneto Agricoltura to do the same, introduce themselves, please.
Okay, I'm Jacopo Richard, protected area manager of Bosco Nordio, and I agree for the registration of a meeting too.
Okay, thank you, Jacopo. Now, please, the staff from the University of Salento.
Hello, good morning. My name is Maurizio Pinna, and I am the coordinator of IMPRECO for the University of Salento. With me, there are Gabriele Marini and Francesca Giannotta.
Hi everyone, good morning.
They are two my recent collaborators, and I agree with we agree with the registration of this meeting. Bye.
Okay, thank you. The next one is DOPS. So I'm asking also the staff from DOPS to introduce themselves and give us their consent for the registration of this meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Hi everybody. I am Via Racker from Scotianski Zapok, and I agree with this meeting and registration. With me there is also Bojana.
Hi everybody, I'm Bojana. So I also agree for the registration of this meeting, and here is also Borod.
So I agree. Okay.
Thank you. Good morning. Dobar dan. And okay, the next one. Very nice to meet you, even if in a virtual way, but it's always a pleasure. Next one, please, from CN Karst. I guess that Ante is representing CN Karst. Ante, can you introduce yourself? Give us the consent for registering you now. Ante, your microphone is closed. I don't know if you're talking at the moment. And I guess there is also Gianna from CN Cars. Can you hear us? No. Okay, we go back later to them. So now it's time for introducing the Albanian Development Fund. Abdullah.
Hello, good morning.
Online.
Good morning. My name is Abdullah Dikwa. I'm working for Albanian Development Fund in Shkodra Lake as a protected area expert. I agree to register this conversation during this meeting.
Abdullah, and I can see in the list of participants also Mirlinda. Good morning, Mirlinda. Mirlinda, your microphone is closed. Can you hear us? No. Okay. We go on with the last one, the region of Crete.
Can you hear?
Yeah. Good morning, Mirlinda.
Okay. Massi.
Good morning,
here.
Mirlinda. We can hear you.
Good morning. Can you now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good morning, Massi.
Good morning, Mirlinda. We can hear you very well.
Good morning again. Okay.
Good
So
morning. Welcome.
sorry, maybe we dismissed some issues.
Oh, no problem, Yolanda. We just introduced the
There's a serious
transnational
problem with the
training.
network here, I guess.
Okay, we can go back to you later. Don't worry. I hope you can hear us in the meanwhile. Okay? Okay. So the last partner called is the last partner called is the region of Crete. I can see Anna in the list. Anna, can you hear us? Anna, can you hear us?
Massi? Hello?
Good morning, Anna.
Good morning.
Kalimera.
Kalimera. I am Anna Kajampaki from the Directorate of Environment and Spatial Planning of the region of Crete, and I give my consent for registering this web meeting.
Okay, thank you very much, Anna.
Thank you too.
Gerlinda, can you close the microphone? Because I think there is some noise coming from your side.
Okay, okay.
Okay, thank you. So I go back to Ante. I can see he is asking an intervention. So Ante, can you hear us? Ante, can you hear us? We cannot hear you. Okay, wait, I'm writing you a message. Ante, can you hear us? No. Okay, we'll be back later to CN cars. Okay, I think we can start with the session. So the first part is about the revision and validation of the deliverable T1.2.1, the joint monitoring protocol. We have received a draft from Jacopo in the last days, and so I'm asking Jacopo and Matteo to go through the document so that we can give a look to the contents, decide if there are some integrations or changes, and at the end validate this deliverable. Okay? Give you the floor if you're ready.
Okay. Can you hear me? I think so.
Yes, we can hear you.
The document is here. Okay. I don't know if Maurizio want to say something like an overview of the work as coordinator of this VP. Otherwise, I can keep going with the scrolling down this document and then we can talk about it. Maurizio.
Yes, thank you, Matteo. Okay, this document, this joint monitoring protocol, is a step of IMPRECO framework, because we started with the collection of species in our protected areas, and then we used some of these species as target species for the monitoring of our protected areas. And each partner proposed one or more target species, including aquatic species or terrestrial ones. And the result of these activities followed, coordinated by Matteo and Jacopo, is the joint monitoring protocol that you have as a draft now. In general, I followed this work, and in my opinion, it is a good work, even if we have a lot of target species in our joint monitoring protocol, because our protected area are very heterogeneous, because we have marine ecosystems, terrestrial ecosystems, transitional water ecosystems, estuaries, and so on. And as a result, we have also a very large list of target species. In my opinion, this fact can be an advantage, because we can propose different species for the monitoring, not only inside our project, but in the future, also for other protected areas. In general, in my opinion, the draft is good, but probably I suggest a revision of grammar, starting from the title, and the first word of the title probably need an improvement, and stop. For me, it's okay if we add just a check of grammar. Thank you, Matteo.
Okay, thank you, Maurizio. So we can just scroll down on the document. I just point out some things, and then if somebody wants to say something about it, we are open. I don't know if I can manage from my laptop. I don't know what are you seeing on your desk. In my, there is page 7 of the deliverable. It's in your the same. I have problem to scroll down from my. I don't know why. Massi.
Yeah, we are seeing the page 7 of the protocol.
Yes, but I think you just got to move the pages, because from my is locked. I cannot scroll down the document.
Okay, tell me when I have to scroll it down, and
I think if you start from the first page, and then we go down.
Okay, so I go back to the first page.
Yeah.
Right.
Still not. I'm still seeing this page number 7. I don't know why.
We have only page 7.
Pardon?
It seems that we have just page 7 on the screen. There are no other pages. I'm trying to go back to the previous ones, but the document is limited to page 7.
Strange. Before the meeting, all the pages were available.
We can charge it again if you upload it again if you want.
Maybe better.
Matteo, do you need to upload again the document?
Yeah, but I don't. In the menu there is deliverable GM 2.1.
Okay, now.
Okay, it's working now. Okay.
Okay, there is working.
Even
okay,
from,
if I'm not wrong, I stop you just for 1 second.
Okay.
If I'm not wrong, we have Ante and Gianna online now, right?
Okay.
Ante, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, finally, good. Thank you. So, good morning. I changed computer. I'm here from the Karst from Croatia, and I agree with everything you said. I've been able to hear you very well. So, I'm here. Now, hope that I can communicate with you on this long distance web meeting. Good morning to everyone. Okay.
Okay, Masi. Masi. Can we keep going?
I think Masi left.
Left. It's gone. So we keep going. We were scrolling down this document. We have to make some correction, as Maurizio said. First page is partners, pictures, summary, an overview. You remember we were agreeing to have a common approach in finding the target species, because we have different areas with different ecosystem and species. So we have found out a list of some target species as just 2 or 3 are the same in the different protected areas, but this is normal. The joint is in the common approach in finding these species or habitat or biocenosis in the Aquatina sample. Okay, so we build up an Excel sheet with all those species and all the kind of methodologies for monitoring them. Okay, then this is a sort of how do you say, summary of what we found out for groups, habitats, biocenosis, plants, invertebrates, and so on, like a description with all the list. Then we have a special part for each protected area, each partner. And all of you send us, me, Maurizio, and Jacopo, your species with your methodology, your sampling effort. And me and Jacopo, we try to merge all your draft to have a sort of coherence of homogeneous draft at the end in this deliverable. So just before we close this deliverable, you have just to check in your path if our sometimes how do you say we move something, we change a little bit, is okay or not. Okay, we did just to have an homogeneous draft. Okay, so this is for Isonzo river mouth. With one thing that was asked in the project is to find out the monitoring area and more or less the effort of the sampling. Okay. And then we have put out some distribution map and density data as expected result. Then every partner can target this with the need of his own pilot action, because at the end with this monitoring we can find out something about the state of the earth now, and then after the pilot we can measure again the status of the species or the habitat, and understand if the pilot action has some results or not, and then maybe we target it. Okay, I keep going, then if you have a question, just stop me. Okay, this is for Bosco Nordio, 1 habitat and 3 species. The monitoring area, Acquatina di Frigole, University of Salento, Pinna nobilis, that is a common species with our protected area. The methodology is more or less the same as sampling effort, but in the case of Salento, they will measure each shell. For Isonzo river mouth, this will be not done because we have not money enough to do all those things. Monitoring area, okay, okay. Macroinvertebrate composition, this is for the biocenosis, okay. This is for partner 4, Skoshansky Zatok. They have a different group of animal, invertebrates, birds, amphibians, okay, and reptiles as well. The monitoring area, the expected results. This is for Pacleni, Posidonia beds habitat and reefs, 2 habitats to monitor. And some, this is for Skodra Lake. I forgot something for Pacleni. You have not species, Ante. That's right? Okay, okay, perfect. I remember well. This is for Skodra Lake. Some species of plants, Trapanatans and Nymphea alba, and some species of birds. Okay. Methodology. This is the part of Crete, northeast of Crete. 1 habitat and some species of plants. 1 reptile and some birds. In this part, we need still, should be nice to have the methodology of and the sampling effort. Okay, to fill. I mean, it's written there that, but you can fill even the box. Okay, and the references. So this is the deliverable. Now, just it's interesting to ask you if you are agree if we have still to fix something, or we can consider this deliverable close. Okay, up to you now. All agree?
Matteo.
Ante asked.
Okay, I hear a question. So this is for professional monitoring.
Yes, this is for professional. The
Okay.
certified we will speak later.
Okay. So in the case of Pacleni Island, indeed we have 2 biocenoses It's Posidonia bed, but within Posidonia bed we are monitoring also Posidonia, but it is overlapped.
Okay.
And the second is reefs. In the reefs we are monitoring many species, so we cannot say that we are monitoring species because there are many which are used for the special index.
Okay, but okay, just a question. But at the end, the indicator is the quality of the reef habitat as well. So you monitor the extension of this habitat and the quality of it.
Yes, the quality of reef habitat, but you know, reef habitat is from the surface still 200 meters. So it's just for the shallowest part of the reef habitat, first 1 meter. But it is a very important part because it's full of species and important for the marine biocenosis of the Pakleni Island.
Okay, so we will be connected to the quality of this habitat and the composition, the quality of the biocenosis living in it. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Alicia?
Matteo, just a moment, because in this version, in this draft, there are some errors. Also in Aquatina, if you go in the Aquatina, the listed partner need to change in PP3.
Okay.
I don't know if probably we have a more updated draft.
Upload that one. I think this one is from the Dropbox. I think I don't know. Have a look. The name
because.
No, this was uploaded. The name of this draft is deliverable T21 draft that is uploaded from the Dropbox. So it's the draft that is now currently uploaded in the Dropbox. So we can make the correction. Who makes the correction in the file?
Yeah, we need to do some revision to.
Okay, I'll check. Yeah, everybody for his own part. If we can, by the end of this week, not later, send your revision if there is something, and then we close before Christmas. Okay, it's okay for all of you. Ante said yes. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. It is important because there are some errors like PP2, Aquatina is PP3. It is
okay. Yeah. This is correct.
Financial
contents, and now we can have a final review of all the document. And I don't know if Jacopo wants to say something about the monitoring or the expected results, or somebody else. I don't know.
Excuse me, Matteo, I have a not good sound here. Can you repeat, please?
If you want to say something about then the activity of monitoring and then expected result connected with the pilot and with the ecosystem quality, I don't know if you want to say something, otherwise I keep going.
Yes. I talk, for example, to Bosco Nordio situation, in which, in our case, we chose some target species related to some environments which could be could have impact from the increase of visitors we expecting from the pilot action. This is important also to estimate the quality of the ecosystem, and also of ecosystem services which is related to So, for example, we used, as I anticipate in Crete, one habitat which is the great dunes, which grow in the paths used by the visitors. And so the increasing of visitors on paths could also impact on this habitat. The choice of a pilot action on some particular area of our reserve could avoid this. And so we choose to estimate this impact. Some, I don't know if you could show the page of a document with the sample area of Great Dunes, Matteo, please.
Pardon?
Could you show the page of a document in which is show the sample area of Great Dunes monitoring? No, 2 pages later. No, this is okay.
So.
One moment, Arameles. Excuse me. It's very, very. Questa Pelovates, the previous page. Okay, I don't know where is. I think there is some problem on this document because the sample area of Great Dunes is not shown here.
So important is to have the last document.
Yes.
Have you got it? You can upload it.
Yes, I have, but I don't remember if because this is the document that I uploaded yesterday, and is the document on which we work for the last weeks. I think we lost the previous version. Okay.
If you close just a moment the microphone because Ante said there is a lot of echo. Maurizio, what your last version of this draft?
Yes.
Upload it now.
Anyway, I have the version in which just some comments proposed by Massimiliano are lacking, but the main revision was done.
So can you upload it now?
Yes, if I'm able to upload, yes.
By the way, if somebody, while Maurizio is uploading this new file, so we check. Anybody else has got some questions or something to say?
The managing of the file is quite complicated because we have many files to manage and we need to take attention. It is normal, in my opinion, because the work is very high. Matteo, I don't know why, but I am not able to upload this file. If you are in Skype, I can send you the file on Skype. In Skype now.
Send it to me by email, not Skype. and then I try to convert it in
by mail.
Yeah, perfect.
Matteo, I could complete my discussion about this, so we can go away. We carry out the meeting. Yes, I would also show that in the case of gradients and the use of gradients, the gradients of the quality of the choice of the environmental of the ecosystem services choice. And the choice of the specific pilot action is we chose to sample the gradients in some parts of the reserve in which we expect that people don't increase their impact. So comparing the quality of the gradients environments now before the activation of the pilot action and after, we expect no impact on these aspects in some other case, we chose species of particular conservation values, as for example for Pelophates fuscus. In that case, I don't expect any impact from the visitor because it's a nocturnal species, and so we think that there could not the people don't create any problem to the species. Okay. It's enough, Matteo. What do you think? Want you?
Okay. I was
something.
Yeah, I was trying to downloading the material of Maurizio. Just a moment. So, vediamo. Okay. Yeah.
I've got a couple of questions, or better, a couple of notes. The first one is about the collection of data. As you know, it was foreseen in the project to capitalize, I can say, the database we developed with a previous project called Otherwise 2000.
Yeah.
And as I explained you before, we found some technical problems with that database that we're going to fix thanks to an external service, the same agency that developed the database. As lead partner, are running in this moment the procurement for hiring such agency so that they can work on the previous database, fix it, and of course also enlarging it to some new fields, specific fields we defined with this protocol and with the previous work about the inventory. So I just want to point it out that the database is going to be developed and shared in the next months, but the question is how you are going to collect the data from the partners, the timing for collecting data, and the procedure for uploading such data in the database, if you have already planned this part of the activity, because you know that the activity T1.2 is about implementing the protocol, of course, not only sharing it.
Okay.
And then, if you want, I give you also the second note, and then I give you the floor if you want to answer to these questions. The second note is about the relationship between the target species and the ecosystem services. I just want to point it out that yeah, as Jacopo explained, we have highlighted some relationships between the target species and the conservation status of the ecosystems, their functionality, and also what is the effect on the services we are targeting with the pilot. As recalled in the document, thanks to the sensitive maps, the last part of the sensitive maps, we will also provide you with some, let's say, economical indicators for evaluating the management of the ecosystem services and the results of the pilot. They are outside of this protocol, and yeah, they will be provided to you with the sensitive maps. Okay. That's it.
Okay, just a second. I'm downloading the file and I will answer first on first about how do you say, the database. So this with the man that will maybe fix the old database of AdriaWorld. We had a shift of time. I mean, this deliverable, this one, the joint monitoring protocol, should be closed earlier now. Now we know that maybe we can fix this database, geodatabase, and use it for this purpose. So, if you like, I can prepare an Excel sheet with the fields, the main fields to fill in collecting data. So, and then I will share it with you. So if you are agree with the fields, I mean name of a species, grid for referencing the data, and other fields, normal fields of the geodatabase. I can speak with this man that will fix the AdriaWorld geodatabase to make it fit for upload those sheets. So every partner can collect in an Excel sheet his own data on target species, and then we can upload directly in this database until this database will be ready, because I don't know the time to prepare the database from this factory company. Okay, so the idea is to have a quite simple way to upload the data through an Excel, and then I think it will prepare a normal input mask of common geodatabase to fill in the new data. So if you are agree, we can proceed in this way, and I think we can fill our joint monitoring protocol even with this another small chapter pointing out the way in which we will collect the data in geodatabase, putting in a sheet of this Excel like a sample. Let me know if you are agree or not. Nobody speaking, all agree?
We agree from Crete.
Okay, Matteo, I agree.
Shout with the hand as well. Okay, so I will prepare maybe today this, and then I will share with you. Okay. I'm trying now to upload the new file of Maurizio. Let me try this. No, condividi, no. No, there's something wrong here.
Matteo,
Yeah.
While you are uploading it, since I can remember how it worked within the previous project, so you will provide partners with this template. They should fill in data in the template so that it could be uploaded automatically in the database. But what about the timing? Do you think it's better to give some deadlines for uploading data, or I don't know, collecting data at the end of the implementation of the protocol? What is the best way for you for managing the implementation of the protocol?
You mean the collecting the new data?
Yeah, I guess that partners will use the protocol for collecting data on target species, and this will be done from now on till the end of the project. But yeah, they will transfer data in the template, and the template will be ready for being uploaded in the database. But do you think it's better to schedule this uploading or let the partners free to upload them?
I think normally the best way is to check at the beginning of the monitoring activity. You need maybe 3-4 months of activity and check if the database is working well. Otherwise, we can change something if there is the need. And then the data will be uploaded in the geodatabase at the end of the monitoring session. I think normally we do like this.
Because you know, the database.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know with the reporting when you have to, with the time of the reporting, when you have to have the data all in, or some data in the database.
Well, I think the problem is not with the reporting, but if possible, we'll try to display the database also on the project website on the Adrian platform. So if we upload the data, all the data at the end of the project implementation, the database will be empty. So that's why I'm wondering if it's better to schedule some deadlines for uploading partial data, of course, and also the baseline we set out till now. I think that I don't know if such data are also available for the database or not.
Yeah. We can do it. It's not so easy, but we can. I have to speak with the man. We can upload the baseline with a rough detail, because the data of the animals, the species, and the habitat in the baseline are referred to the protected area, not to a point with coordinators, so with a grid. Okay. So all data are referred at the protected area. So it's quite a wide scale georeferenced data. In the new data, the data we will collect with the joint protocol, we have much more detail in georeferencing those new information. So we can build up the new database. The minimum was a grid of 1 kilometer from 1 kilometer for georeferencing data, not wider than that. But in the new, we can have we can put different choice. So we can have a data from a species with the georeferenciation to the area, the borders of the protected area, or if you have new data, you can use east coordinates. So we can fix in this way. And for the new data, we can, if you all of you are agreed, we can fix, I don't know, a 3-month or 4-month reporting. So every 4 months, everybody can has got to upload the data collected. So if I do the monitoring of, I don't know, which species in January, at May, I will upload, or in April, I will upload the first data, and then in September, the other. We can fix some how do you say, deadlines like that, if you agree.
Yeah, it's up to you, of course. I was just wondering how to manage the transferring of data in the database. So if I have understood, the idea is to take some of the data we have collected in the baseline, the ones who are shaped on the database characteristics, so they can be transferred, and then each 3 months, more or less, update the data with the new ones collected with the protocol. Am I right?
But the new one, they will be much more detailed data. I mean, so with the data of the baseline, you will have the protected area of Bosco Nordio, list of species. Okay. The new data will be observation of the Studio Armani inside the Bosco Nordio with the detailed point or square and grid. Okay, with different detail scale. Okay.
Okay.
It's okay for all of you?
Okay for me, Matteo. I think that the first we could try to see if in April we will have enough data. I think not the total. We probably we couldn't be able to fill all the spaces, all the habitat. But I think if in April we have a good coverage of information for about 60%, I don't know, of the species or habitat, we can start to cultivate, to use also for external people this database.
Okay, I'm uploading now the other the file that Maurizio sent me. It takes a little bit more time, but in 2 minutes we will have it ready. By the way, the other question of Masi was in which way, I remember, the target species will be connected with the ecosystem quality and ecosystem services quality, right?
Yeah, it was not really a question. I just wanted to point out that as far as the target species are concerned, you have highlighted a first relationship between them. We can consider them kind of indicatory species for the conservation status of ecosystem services. But what I wanted to highlight is that thanks to the sensitive maps, we will have also some further indicators, capacity, flow, and other economical indicators about the ecosystem services targeted within the pilot actions, and that we will be able to use such indicators for evaluating the impact of the pilots in the different protected areas. So this will be, let's say, a monitoring protocol focused on the, let's say, economical aspects of the pilot, just to clear it out that it is something additional to this joint monitoring protocol. That's why such indicators are not included in this document, right?
Yes, perfect. Those indicators are different indicators. We focus in this document on biological indicators, so species and habitat. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's slowly uploading the new draft, because in the first one it was not present the chapter on quality of ecosystem. So click there. It takes a little bit more. I don't know if it's a problem of my laptop, it is old, or the system. There is not here the chapter on Jacopo and Maurizio. Can you help me first, maybe? There was a chapter with the ecosystem quality. Yes. So we have this, but it was a little bit longer, maybe that, I don't know. In the same document, we have this small chapter about the monitoring ecosystem and ecosystem services that was foreseen in the project. But as Masi said just 1 minute ago, the services they have a specific indicator. For ecosystem, we use our species or habitat to assess the integrity and the quality of an ecosystem. So the target species, they should have even this this value, and the pilot action. I don't know. I think all of you will have in your mind the pilot action to work on with this project, and should be, as possible, if possible, a connection with the expected result in order to have a measure of change in those target species. I mean, those target species or habitat, they will be an indicator of success or not of the pilot action as well. Okay. Maurizio, I don't know if you want to say something more about this draft, and then we can close it. We will put another small chapter about the geodatabase now. I will prepare this sheet and share with you, and then we can close it.
Yeah, thank you, Matteo, and thank you to also Jacopo for the great effort in the preparation of the deliverable. Anyway, I say just that we need to do the final revision about this deliverable, and probably we can fix a deadline for the final revision and to receive some the last comments from the other partners. Anyway, in this deliverable there is a critical point, that because the critical point is the evaluation of the monitoring and evaluation of ecosystems and ecosystem services. We can try to do it, but this is not a simple issue for all of us. But we can try to use the target species as a monitor for ecosystem, for changes of ecosystem and ecosystem services according to the pilot actions in each carried out in each protected area. Yes. Anyway, in my opinion, this is not a simple issue, but we try to do it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maurizio. So, Masi, we will go with the simplified or what?
Yes, I think that we have to go on with a simplified monitoring protocol, and then before closing the training, define also the deadlines for the revision, a further revision of the joint monitoring protocol, considering also this additional part on the templates for collecting data and transferring them in the database, the organization of the, the release of the simplified protocols for each protected area, the organization of the national trainings, and the starting date for the implementation of the protocol, because we need to know these important dates, for reporting to the JS. We are already very late with this activity, so it's important we clear it out, the different steps and the deadlines for each of them. So let's go with the simplified protocol, and then we can close with this wrap up.
Okay. So for the simplified, the idea is that more or less I put in the Dropbox 2 months ago a sample to understand the way we can the way we think to do it in our protected area. The tutorials, and this one is in English, but then Masi, correct me if I'm wrong, they should be in original language, so our will be in Italian and so on. The idea is to involve with this simplified monitoring protocol different categories of citizen association. I don't know, everybody of you will have some stakeholder or some people to involve in that. In our idea for our protected area, we were thinking to involve just some categories and on some target species, because some target species we have are not so easy in detection, not so easy to register. We were thinking to involve people using the marine seaside of the reserve to monitor the Pinna nobilis, maybe the habitat of meadows or seagrass meadow, and the fisherman, the professional fisherman, for Aphanius fasciatus, that is a small fish. And this is a sample of tutorial that could be part of this deliverable. I just scrolled down the way I did it, and then we were thinking to build up a serious video, not a funny video like that one. Jacob load up in the natural reserve website so people can look at it and be involved. So the sample, the tutorial for the simplified is like that. It's very easy. This is the species, the target group, and the result. Every data are important for distribution of this fish inside the reserves, Natura 2000 species. Okay, sorry. It is fishermen, normally they fish with those nets, and then they sort the fish that goes in the market, go in the ice, and the other fishes, this is not a Aphanius fasciatus, but doesn't matter, it was like a sample they threw in the sea. So the easiest way to involve them is to the species to take a geotagged picture of the specimen, and then the animal could be released in the wild, and they send through WhatsApp or through mail, or way they prefer, they share the picture with on a telephone number of the nature reserve. So we will have a lot of data, I hope. I don't know, the idea was is this to involve people in a easy way. I mean, we tried in another project to use field sheet to fill with a lot of fields and so on, and the result was very low because people doing other things, working for the fishermen or maybe enjoying for the nautical sport. They have not time to fill sheets and so on. But tablets or smartphones are now tools that everybody can use. And if you want, take a picture and share with what is a work of 30 seconds, and we have the picture. So we know that that species is the right species, is not a wrong determination from the observer, and the position. And for a simplified is more than enough to me. Okay, so this is the way we are thinking to work on simplified. We will organize in the I think in the beginning of January, by the end of January, a meeting involving those different target groups, categories, showing this idea, and then we try to disseminate to other people through the website of the nature reserve and the social profile. This work we are going to do. So if you have other ideas, I've read something about other areas. In Crete, Yelena said me you maybe have a proper application for the smartphone for this or something like that. So let me know so we can speak about that.
Matteo, I will try to show an experience which we have carried out in Bosco Nordio with guides and the simplified protocol monitoring of Testudo Hermani. I tried to charge 4 slides of PDF. I try, yeah? One moment. I'm not able to do this. I try to explain only by word in my terrible English. I try. At the 8th of November, we did a meeting with the guides of the reserve about the simplified monitoring protocol that we wanted to use in Bosco Nordio on the monitoring of the terrestrial turtles. And we meet the guides, the guides of the cooperative, and giving to the guides the information about the simplified monitoring protocol on Testudo Hermani. We not are able to train, I think, all the people visiting the reserve. We think that the non-professional monitors, people, what will work on terrestrial turtles, are simply visitors or the reserve, people, also child, family. And so we try to active a system in which we train the guides of the cooperative, and after the guides give general information and some materials to the visitors. So we organized this first meeting and give to the guides this simple training to obtain also some information on the better materials which we can produce to inform and to give to a visitor the opportunity of do these activities. So we with the guides, we are thinking to a simple sheet, a simple form that the guides give to the visitors at the entrance of the reserve, the ticket office. And in this form, I'm sorry, but I'm not able to show you now. We give simple information about the turtles to the visitors, and the visitors give us some information about the number of turtles observed during the visit, if they observed some breeding couples or spawning females, because this is a very useful information for us. And also the people could give us the position in this case on a map, which is drawn on the form on the sheet we give to the people. And so now we are thinking to organize an event at the beginning of the season in which the turtles are active in the reserve, like a day in which we talk about the turtles. We take the people and show the turtles in nature together with the guides. This is the start. I think this could be like a monitoring training for the people. I don't think we can reach all the visitors, because very often the people are occasional visitors, don't live in Chioggia or near the reserve. And so at the moment we are working with a guide to prepare the definitive format of a form to give, which we will give to visitors, also for drawing or the way to organize the data written by the visitors in the form. Okay, these are our experience at the moment, and the visitors are also very the guides, excuse me, are very interested in this activity. I think they think that also for child. This could be like an, I don't know, a treasure hunt, caccia tesori in Italiano, in which the child could find the turtles and enjoy with the activities too. Thank you.
Okay. Other of you have other idea to implement this simplified monitoring protocol?
Can I say something, Matteo?
Yeah.
Okay. So first, our pilot action will be to establish a website for the Paklani Island, and also application which will be used for the simplified monitoring. So for the simplified monitoring, we choose several species marine species which are easy to recognize for the not experts. So basically on Paklenny Island, we have a huge number of tourists. It is not protected area, so you don't have coordinate system of for the tourists which are coming or going out. So we will for that we will make an application in which we will describe species which are important somehow for the Paklenny Island, and ask those tourists but also other stakeholders to participate in this, as Jacobo say, treasure hunt. We can call that also. So we decided to take some species which are also indicator species. For example, indicator species of tropicalization. Very easy to recognize. This is one sea star, Ophidiaster ophidianus, very recognizable. One sea urchin, Centrostephanos longispinus, quite rare here, but it's start to become more frequent. Also easy to recognize. Then two sea snail, it's Charonia tritonis. It's all of them are protected species, and Luria lurida. For that Charonia tritonis, it's a rare species, but we would like to know if it is present also in Paklenny Island. Then it's Pinna nobilis. It is present there, but we don't know distribution, and this system will give us basic information to know what is the distribution of Pinna in that area. And then there are two easy recognizable fishes. It's Hippocampus, two species, it's horsefish, and Posidonia oceanica, but indeed Posidonia is present everywhere. But in this simplified monitoring protocol, we will ask people to check if the Posidonia have flowers, if it's flowering or producing seeds, which are biological events not common, but happening from time to time, and also indicator of status of the Posidonia. So we hope that we are sure that the application will start till the beginning of touristic season. So during the next summer, I believe we will have a set of data based on that. Also, that application will be made that so it can be transferred to other protected area or target or pilot area, and can be used later for the several purpose of monitoring. And just I forget before to say that for the professional monitoring, even we finished that, I didn't say that, we are planning a first monitoring in the spring. So, and the end of spring, so it means May, June, we will have a first set of data for the database. So that's it, I think.
Okay, thank you. Other suggestions?
Yeah, a question, Ante. Do you think the data you're going to collect thanks to this application can be included in the templates that Matteo will provide you for the project database? I mean, can we use such data also to feed in the project database?
Of course, of course.
Or are different?
Of course. But I don't know what kind of what template will be, but we can manage somehow that our data could fit in that template. For sure, it will be useful information for the database.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking about. Yeah.
Yes, especially because we don't know nothing about some species which will be our target species for the simplified monitoring. For example, Charonia tritonis, sea snail. It's a big snail and easily recognizable, and we don't have information if it exists there or not. So it will be very valuable information if we found some report.
Yes, of course it is. And another consideration, of course, as Matteo said, the simplified monitoring protocols should be drafted out in your national language because, of course, you have to present them to your volunteers.
It will be in several languages. It will be in several languages because
yeah, but at least yeah. But what I'm asking also to the other ones, the other partners, I mean, is if it's possible the same to prepare an abstract of the the simplified protocol, an abstract in English, so that it can be on one side shared with the other partner, because as you said, Ante, it could be a good practice to be transferred in other protected areas. And on the other side, such abstract could be included like a final annex to the joint monitoring protocol in order to connect them, you know.
Yeah, of course. Anyhow, we wrote everything in English now in our documents. But
but it's obvious because, you know, Pakleni Island are host a lot of foreign tourists, so I guess that's the reason why you are developing it also in English. But maybe it's not the same for the other ones.
Croatia, the platform, the basic problem is to make a web platform and application, the platform, and then it can be transformed in any English without problem.
Yeah,
in any language without problem, and also use for different space and for different species.
Wow, that's good. Okay.
At the end, I don't remember. We have to build up a deliverable for the simplified. We will build up a deliverable like the professional monitoring protocol, or will be an annex of that?
No, it's a separated deliverable, and we are expecting one from each protected area in the project.
So everybody has got his own deliverable.
They have to produce their own deliverable, yeah. Okay. As you said, I agree with the idea of producing the simplified protocol in national language, because as you said before, this is mainly for local volunteers. But once again, if all the partners agree, I suggest to prepare at least an abstract in English so that it can be presented the other protected areas, and why not also be included, thanks to the abstract, into the connected to the common protocol. But they are separate deliverables, of course.
Okay. Another question, which deadline for those?
Yesterday.
Okay. Who is the coordinator of this, so we can try to close even this one?
Well, the coordinator of this activity falls within the work package T1, and Salento is the coordinator. But as far as the protocols, the activity T1.2 is concerned, Veneto Agricoltura, Jacopo is our chief leader.
Okay, so Jacopo fix a deadline.
A theoretic deadlines or realistic deadline. January 20.
Well, Jacopo, if I can help you, let's start with a kind of roadmap. The validation of the common protocol? Because if I'm not wrong, Maurizio said that you need a further revision. So when we can consider the joint common protocol closed?
Now here close hall at the end of a week. I think we're not able to close before the end of a week. Maurizio?
At the end of the week is quite difficult, but in my opinion, we need to decide exactly who receive and who make the final revision. As I said to you some days ago, I can do this work to close definitively the joint monitoring protocol if I receive also the comments or revision from the other partners. And in this case, we can consider as a deadline 10 of January, because we have also two weeks of holidays, of course. But I can do a final revision if you agree. The revision of the English grammar, and probably I can also ask you some final comments, and we can close the joint call for 10 of January.
Okay.
If you agree, Jacopo,
okay, for me it's okay.
There's very previous experience in the managing of files, saying that it is an hard work to follow different files and different revisions. But now I have a clear situation about the revision of the joint monitoring protocols, except for the final, the last chapter regarding the monitoring of ecosystem and ecosystem service, but I said my opinion above. You agree?
I agree, Maurizio. Okay, Maci? Massimiliano?
Yeah, sorry that the sound was not so clear. So the deadline is the end of January?
10? Or the end?
No, I prefer to try to close 10 of January.
Okay.
But
10.
it is important to fix a deadline to receive your revisions. Okay. My deadline to close the revision is 10 of January, but you need to send me what is your deadline to receive, to send me the revision, the final comments, final check, I don't know. I think that this deadline for you can be not later than 2 or 3 days, because each of you need to check shortly just your part. Are you able to make this?
2-3 days for sending you the last revision, so that you can close the join the common protocol by the 10th of January, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
But
okay.
2 or 3 days, not not later than next Monday.
Maurizio, can you send us by email the last version?
Okay.
Not through the Dropbox, by email.
Okay.
Okay.
I send you the last version.
Okay.
Okay. Then, next step, as far as the database is concerned, we are trying to develop it, close it by the end of February. But as I said before, we are running the procurement for the external service, so it's up to them, even if we asked officially to provide us with the database by the end of February, okay? Cool. So, the simplified protocols. What's the deadline for the simplified protocols? If I'm not wrong, you said at the end of January, right?
20 of January, okay, we try. But we have to receive, I think, by 10 of January, or the simplified monitoring protocols for all the partners. I started to work with the deliverable in these days. If I will be able to show you an example before the end of the year. I work until the end of this week, but I work also, unfortunately, on 27 and 28 of December. And I try to prepare an example for the area of Bosco Nordio. And also we can use the example of Matteo, I think, to prepare an example of if all the partner can provide us their simplified monitoring protocols before the end of December. And I hope that the partners could be able to give us their text before 10 of January. And we try to close all the document before the 20th of January. You agree?
Just one question.
Yes.
For Massimo, I think. Too many microphones are open.
Sorry, Jacopo,
yes?
wait. Jacopo, can you close the microphone when someone else is talking, because we have some echo from you.
Okay.
Thank you. So, for this deadline means that we have to do even the training for the people involved, or just the tutorial and paper material?
No, that's the point. Can you hear me? Yeah, sorry, that's the point. We need, of course, the final version of the simplified monitoring protocols for organizing the national trainings, because they have to be presented to the volunteers. That's why I'm trying to draft out kind of roadmap. Okay?
Okay for me.
So,
hello.
Yeah.
Okay. For us, it's not feasible because we have to develop web application. So it is not possible to finish everything for that short period. So basically, we can produce a text material, but it will be still not in action till that period. So national training monitoring is indeed our application, which will not be in function, I think, till the beginning of spring.
Okay, and I think that the text. I think that the text version is okay for closing the deliverable. As for the national trainings, considering that you are making some additional work, because application is an additional work, of course, you should follow your agenda, because yeah, it's understandable that you need some more time for presenting the application together with a protocol. So that's okay. But generally, I think that in 1 month from the drafting out of the simplified monitoring protocol, partners could organize the national training with local volunteers, if you all agree on that.
Yes, I agree with Ant, because probably we can produce some brochure or book material, or like this, for example. We have produced one about this. This is the vermocan, is a fire worm, and in 1 month we can do this. We can produce material like brochure or simple abstract or methodologies, and then we can do the national training.
Yeah, I can understand all of you, but I'm sorry, I'm not a bad cop. I'm just the one who is dealing with the program. Once again, we are very late. So I remember you that we have to provide the program with deliverables and of course also with related expenditures, or we really risk to have our budget reduced. So I can understand, but it's important that we speed up with these tasks, or yeah, this is the risk we are facing.
Massimiliano, sorry. For the simplified joint monitoring protocol, we need to produce 8 deliverables. And probably the deliverables are one for each partner, plus another general deliverable.
The common one, yeah.
Yeah, this is true. But
yeah.
Do you think that the general deliverable can be done with the abstracts of?
Yeah, Maurizio, you get the point. That was my idea, because
Yeah.
you know, we want to leave partners free to draft the best protocol for their protected areas, but at the end, you know, we are working within a common scheme, so the abstracts should be resumed in a kind of common simplified monitoring protocol version. But I think that the abstracts are enough.
Okay. Just to define better this point.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm trying to give you. If you got some further questions about last points, everything is clear. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the deadlines. Be prepared now. Just 1 second. So this could be the deadlines of the following tasks. Do you agree with them?
Yes.
I'm registering you, so your silence is a consensus.
Yes, for me.
No, Massimiliano, probably you can change inverse. You can inverse the deadlines of simplified and final version.
I'm sorry, you said before that you can close the final version of the joint monitoring protocol by the 10th of January. Was I wrong?
No, it's correct. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay for me, Massimiliano.
Oh, yes, of course. Since we are registering Ante, yeah, we know that we are talking about just the text in your case because you are developing an application. So that's okay for us. No problem. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Well, I think that it's all. I hope everything is clear now. Of course, I share with you the registration of this training. It will be uploaded through the Dropbox. I don't know, maybe it will be an EV file, so I'll check the dimension and then we find a way to share it. But anyway, you will have this meeting available for yeah, your further needs. And of course, if you have questions, you can reach us by email. So if anyone has something to say, I want to thank you for your time, your attention, and of course wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Massi.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you to all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Thank you.
Massimiliano.
You.
Massimiliano.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but in my opinion, it is a good thing to fix another web conference at the end of January.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Probably is need to fix another web conference at the end of January.
Okay, you can try to fix another one if you want.
Because we need to validate some other deliverables at the end of January.
Okay.
Okay. Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ho, 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 ho.
See you next time.
No, Ante. Oh, that's
Great.
Greet Ante.
Ante, you won. With this last video, you won the competition.
Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas.
See you people.